So this is my yellow draw deck. So the idea of this deck, I mean, it's a concept. Yellow is irrelevant. I'm just going with yellow for now. There'll be different variants, but it's something that I have a deck in Magic that uses the same principle of drawing cards, but it also has like bounce spells and counter spells in it. It's a blue deck. So the idea is that every card you play, or almost every card you play, has a draw effect. Has a draw effect plus you want to have another effect other than drawing. That way you have options, you have effects that you can use when you battle, but you're always getting card advantage every time you play a card, which makes them great. Plus, when you play a card that has an effect that lets you do something to interact with your opponent, and then you might draw another card that lets you interact, and so on and so forth. So it helps you move forward your game state. So I found a relatively decent yellow leader for this deck, which is Sun Goten. He has the effect that when he attacks a leader card, draw a card. That was important. I wanted a leader that can draw a card. But I could go with a leader that double strikes and stuff like that, as a win condition. But I wanted to continue the draw idea, so made it with the leader lets you draw. Active main, choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. Then choose up to one yellow extra card from your deck and add it to your hand. And then negate the skill for the duration of the turn. So there are a couple of negates in the deck. A couple extra cards you can search in the deck. One of them being Flying Nimbus and the other one being Planet Vegeta. So you'll be able to utilize that. And then when you have 4 less life, you can choose up to one of your energy, switch it to active, and then switch this, and then flip this card over. And when you flip them over, he has 2 autos. Auto 1 is when this card attacks, draw a card. And the second auto is at the beginning of your opponent's main phase. You may choose one card in your hand and place it into your drop area. If you do so, this card gains 5,000 power for the duration of the turn and negates the skill for the duration of the game. So basically it has a built-in Senzu Bean. That's decent. But you'll mainly want to use him for his front side. So moving on, let's go to the deck list. So we have 4 Awakened Warrior Bark. Okay. Alright, so this is not supposed to be this Bardock. This is supposed to be the War Cry Bardock. The one where you have a yellow leader, you combo for 2 energy, and then after you combo it comes into play. You draw a card, and then you can tap one of your opponent's creatures. And it's a 20k double strike. So I just use this as a stand-in for that particular card because this app doesn't have the card in it. So normally I would do this video on my computer since I don't have the actual Bardock image here. But if you know which Bardock I'm speaking of, you get the idea. He's the MVP of the deck, which ironically, I should have an image. So there's 4 Bodyguard Legic, 4 Champa, the Trickster, 4 Divine Cry, Beerus, Flying Nimbus, 4 of them, 2 Kami, 4 Planet Vegetas, 4 Power Charge Bardock, 4 Shenron Figure of Majesty, and then 1 copy of the leader, 4 Supreme Kai of Time, just that protecting up. Alright, 4 Time Regulator, Supreme Kai. As you can see, they have draw effects plus other abilities. This, you combo with it, right? Get the 10k boost, and you get to draw. So that's that. That's why it's in there. Could you use it as a booster, but for when you're attacking your double strike cards, and then you get to draw in the process. So there's that, and then of course back to the top. All right. So the main thing in here, this is not just Bardic I want for the deck, but obviously you want to search out the Warcry Bardic, combo with it, so you can summon it, so you can draw, so you can get its effect off, and it's a cheap 20k double striker you can on the field relatively easy. And then combine it with other cards. You want to obviously you want to get Bodyguard Legend in play first before you do the combo play, because once you get the Bardic in play, you won't be able to play the Bodyguard Legend for free anyway. You have to actually use energy if you're going to do that, but you want to do it for free. Of course, you want to use Overwhelm to bring out this Bardic, because he's 20k double strike, and get enough attackers on board to deal your opponent a good amount of damage. But we have some counter plays here to interrupt our opponent, plus put a body on board. Sparking 5 super combo, obviously get a draw, plus the 5, plus the 10k, so you get those two, you'll be doing pretty good. You can combo and still get card advantage. Nimbus, in a way, you can, one, it's a good negate, and two, you can look at it as somewhat of a deck thinner card advantage, because of the fact that it can potentially, gain you an extra turn to draw a card. Plus, it's an extra card you can search out with the leader. Kami, when you put this card into play, you draw a card, and then it has his active main ability that could let you board wipe your opponent's creatures, ignoring barrier. So copy them there. Plan of Vegeta lets you search out any of your cost 4 or less Saiyans. Obviously, the main Bardic of the archetype can be searched out, but you can't search out this Bardic because he's a Saiyan. Oops, sorry. You can even search out this Bardic. When this card attacks, you may draw a card. If you did not draw a card with the skill, this card gets double strike. So the cool thing about it is you could just use it. It has a draw ability, so you attack with it, you draw. That's decent. But you could choose not to draw, because you're probably drawing so much from every other card that you can give it double strike. So 15k double strike, you know what I mean? So that's always good. So two things that I want: double strike and the potential to draw. Then we have Shenron. He's kind of like the planeswalker of Dragon Ball Super. He has an ability to let you draw a card and then get an effect. As long as you have Sparking 5. You could do this once per turn. So you could draw a card and then you can choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them tactical. Or you could draw a card and choose one of your battle cards with energy cost 2 or less. You drop area and play it. And the funny thing with that is, since most of your 2 or less battle cards have effects that when they come into play you draw, you're going to be drawing 2 cards when you do that. Isn't that convenient? And then you have draw a card and then choose your leader card or one of your battle cards, and it gains 5,000 power and critical. So that's always good. You definitely want to get critical to any of your battle cards that have double strikes, so that way when you attack your first double strike with crit, right, your opponent takes the damage, hopefully, right, and then they won't get those cards to their hand. They'll go to drop area instead, which means your next double strike attack, you don't have to worry about the cards they would have had in their hand being used to try to combo or negate your attack. So you increase your chances, obviously, of getting 2 double strike attacks to go through if you have critical on your first attack. So you always crit before you double strike. That's a rule of thumb. Always get a critical effect off first, then go for a double strike or just triple strike or dual attacks or anything of that nature. Always crit first. moving on. The one I want to use is the one that you kind of, a basic combo that you could use every turn would be a Supreme Kai of Time Regulator, which you can see is a blocker. Plus, when she comes into play, you draw a card. You combine that with Shenron, because you use Shenron's ability to one, draw a card, and then bring back a battle card of cost 2 or less when you drop her into play. You bring her back. You'll draw for her effect, so you draw 2 cards, and now you have a blocker. So you have a reusable defense, reusable block, negate, whatever you want to call it. So that's an inherent combo there. And then of course, this is pretty basic. It's not that bad since it has barrier. You could play it's 20k has barrier, and give it the 5k boost and the crit with your Shenron. That's pretty decent. Again, crit is good, and not much. It's pretty basic. You got a couple double strikers you're going to use to, as your win condition, to deal enough damage to win, and you're going to be playing a lot of cards to draw, so that way you're keeping your hand advantage, because you're dealing your opponent double strike damage. It's going to give them some type of hand advantage. You don't want to lose out to that just because you're attacking a lot. And that's the end of the video.